Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Toon deck profile. So finally, I got a hold of my Toon cards from Toon Chaos, and I am so excited for this one. Like, I am extra excited for this one, because this deck is like the first deck that I ever got in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, I know Blackwings holds a special place in my heart, because that was my first deck that I built, but the first actual structure deck that I ever got was Pegasus, which had Toon cards in it. So I am so excited to actually do this deck profile for you guys, because it's actually a really good, insane OTK deck now that is surprisingly consistent, because it has like 9 searchers in it now. So anyways guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description, because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting your name in the description of every single video, getting a signed card sent to you in the mail, or even getting a requested deck profile just like this one every single month that you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Toon Blackluster Soldier. So Toon Blackluster Soldier is the new boss monster of the deck, and I'm so glad that they Toon-fied Blackluster Soldier. So what this card does is it can't be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by attributing Toon monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal 8 or more. And then while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. All Toon monsters share the ability that can attack your opponent directly if your opponent's not playing Toon. So mirror matches are a real fun time. If it's not a mirror match, you're just going to constantly hit your opponent with 3k in the face, which is really fun to do. Then it also has the ability that once per turn, you can, if you control Toon World, you can target 1 card on the field and banish it. And also, this card can attack the turn you activate that effect, which is kind of like Toon Blackluster, or kind of like Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. Then we play 3 copies of Toon Dark Magician. Now, I see a lot of people playing this card at like 1 or 2, but I always actually want to open this card, because if you open this and a Blackstone of Legend, you can end with this Red Eyes and a Toon Blackluster Soldier, or Toon Blackluster Soldier plus Flare Metal, which is really fun to burn your opponent for 500 every time they breathe, which is great. I really love ending with that kind of board, because it's going to prevent your opponent from wanting to do much, because they only have 16 effects, and if they drop down to 3,000, then you're instantly going to hit them with Blackluster Soldier, and if you already hit them with Blackluster Soldier once, then they're down to 5,000, which brings them down to 10 effects, and if then next turn you hit them again, it brings them down to where they can only really use 4 effects if they can't get rid of the Blackluster Soldier, and then you win. Then we play 2 copies of Red Eyes Toon Dragon. So Red Eyes Toon Dragon has the ability that it can't be normal summon or set, or it can't be attacked turn and summon, and then while you control a Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly, and then once per turn, you can special summon a Toon monster from your hand, except another copy of itself, ignoring its summoning conditions, which means you can special summon Toon Blackluster Soldier from your hand, or Toon Dark Magician. And Toon Dark Magician, I forgot to mention, has a really cool effect that you can special summon a Toon monster from your deck by discarding a Toon card, which is really good. And then you can also add a Toon card from your deck, Toon Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand, either or effect. You can, by just discarding a Toon. So you can basically, what I normally do is normal summon Blackstone, special summon this from hand, discard a Toon, and then special summon Toon Blackluster Soldier from my deck to my field, and then attack my opponent directly with Toon Blackluster Soldier, and then overlay these 2 for Flare Metal and pass. And that's the field. I mean, it's really good, and you can also aim with like a Toon Terror to protect yourself. Then I play a single copy. Now this card you guys might see questionable, but I like it as a one-of, and that's a single copy of Toon Blue Eyes, or Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Now, you guys are looking at this and going, oh, that's gross, but think about it for a minute. It's a level 8 Toon monster. You could play Ancient Gear Golem instead, if you wanted to play Ancient Gear Golem instead, but could you really summon Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician and Blackluster Soldier in the same deck? No, you can't. In any other deck, no, you can't. So we're going to play it as a one-up just to summon it alongside with the Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Toon Dark Magician, because getting all 3 of those monsters out, your opponent might as well just surrender. You have the 3 most nostalgic cards in the entire game on the field, but they're Toons, so you might as well just give up. And plus, if they leave them on the field, then you pretty much win anyways, because you're going to inflict 7,900 during the next turn damage to them. And it's really cool to be able to play the Blue Eyes Toon in the deck anyway, so I play it as a one-of. You can drop it out if you want to and play something else, maybe an Upstart Goblin or a Metaverse, or even Toon Ancient Gear Golem if you want to play Toon Ancient Gear Golem. over it, but I like the one of because it can actually special summon itself from your hand by treating 2 monsters on your side of the field. Yes, you do have to pay 500 life points, and yes, it does destroy itself if you don't control Toon World on your side of the field, but hey, it still works, and you can special summon it for free for pretty much for 2 page flip. We then play 3 copies of Toon Mermaid. Toon Mermaid is a 3-of to me because I can overlay into my copies of Bahamut Shark, which can put Totally Awesome on the field, which is pretty good to be able to put Totally Awesome on the field in this deck to be able to protect your Toon World. 3 copies of Toon Harpy Lady, which is insanely good, actually. If you control Toon World, you can special summon it from your hand, and then if you control another Toon monster, you can destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls, and then you can only use your effect once per turn, and then while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toons, you can attack your opponent directly with this card, which is really good to be able to attack your opponent directly. And then we play 3 copies of the Black Stone of Legend, which hatches and summons the Red Eyes Toon Dragon, which you basically just tribute this card and then special summon Red Eyes Toon Dragon from your deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys, or the toons. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. You've got to play 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. What this card does is when it's activated, you banish 3 cards from the top of your deck, face down, and this card's name becomes Toon World while on the field, and your opponent cannot target toons you control with card effects. And then if a toon monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish 1 card from the top of your deck face down for each of those monsters instead. So if you're going to get one of your toon monsters destroyed, then you can just banish it and protect this. And also with Toon Bookmark, you can protect this on top of it, so it just kind of stacks your layers of protection. So Toon Kingdom is the best card for field spells. Then we play 3 copies of Toon Page Flip. Toon Page Flip is insane. This card is just the consistency that the deck needed, but like 3 times better. What this card does is basically Cosmo Tenkan. If you guys are not familiar with that effect, you reveal, if you control Toon World, you reveal 3 toons in your deck with different names. Your opponent randomly picks one, and then you special summon it, ignoring your summoning conditions. So you can reveal Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician, or Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Blackluster Soldier, and then immediately special summon one of them that your opponent picks. That's really fun to do, and be able to just summon what you need off of this card. We then play 3 copies of Toon Bookmark. Toon Bookmark is one of the, searchers in the deck, one of the many searchers that this deck has now. But what it does is it lets you, if you can add Toon World or 1 card that specifically lists Toon World in its text from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Toon Bookmark. And if a Toon World you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So if they're going to destroy your copy of Toon Kingdom, you can banish this card instead of letting them destroy your Toon Kingdom, which is really good. We then play 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents, which literally says add any Toon card from your deck to your hand. Even another copy of Table of Contents. Just any toon, you just add it from your deck to your hand. 2 copies of Comic Hand. Comic Hand is really good too, because if you control Toon World, you can take control of the opponent's monster. Like, if they drop a Boral Sword against you, you drop Comic Hand and take it, and it's now your Boral Sword, and you turn it into a toon. Which is really, really cool to be able to just take your opponent's monsters and be able to attack your opponent directly, because they become toons as well. Because they're treated as toons, and if your opponent doesn't control a toon, you guys know that you can attack your opponent directly. 1 copy of Mimicat, it says, hey, I'm any card that your opponent ever activated or a monster that's in their graveyard, and you can revive it to your side of the field, which is pretty good. 1 copy of Double or Nothing, because we do play 6 cards, 6 level 4s in the deck. It's kind of like a backup play for the deck to be able to drop Double or Nothing and OTK your opponent with a Utopia Double. It's really easy to special summon Toon Mermaid and Toon Harpy Lady to your side of the field, overlay them both, and then go after your opponent with a Utopia Double. 1 copy of Terraforming. The Terraforming lets you add your Toon Kingdom from deck to hand, which is really good. And then I play 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. I don't have Pot of Extravagance. I haven't pulled it out of Toon Chaos yet. But this card, you kind of need it. If you don't have it, you can play Perform Pile Popper Up instead, and it lets you draw 3, but you do take damage for it. It's a budget option if you're trying to go budget with toons. But what this card does is at the start of your main phase, you can banish 3 or 6 cards from your extra deck, and then you draw 1 or 2 cards depending on the amount. For every 3 you banished, you draw a card, but you can't draw cards by any other ways for the rest turn. But there's no other draw cards in the deck, so, I mean, hey, whatever. That's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps, which we actually play 2 traps in the deck. So for the traps, we're playing a single copy of Toon Briefcase and a single copy of Toon Terror. They're both searchable, so you just play them as 1 of each. When your opponent summons a monsters or monsters, you can well, you control Toon monsters, you can shuffle all those monsters into the deck. So if your opponent Pendulum summons for 5, you flip Briefcase and it's like, hey, that was a cute Pendulum summon you did. Be a shame if they all went back to your deck. And then Toon Terror is essentially Infernity Barrier that when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control both a Toon world and a Toon monster, you negate the activation, you destroy it. I thought about playing this card as a 2 of. I wouldn't be opposed to dropping the Briefcase and playing a second one of these and siding the Briefcase just in case I play against Pendulums or something. But they're both really good, and so I kind of have been thinking about dropping the Briefcase for the second Toon Terror, but that's kind of up to you. I kind of want to play a little bit more toolbox where I had both. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Now keep in mind this is an extravagance build, so you are going to be playing a lot of 2s and 3 ofs. So the Flare Metals essentially is when it's summoned, every time your opponent breathes or activates a card effect, they take 500 life points. If they disagree with you, they take 500 life points of damage. It's my favorite XYZ monster. You got to play it as a 3 of. It's usually what you end with on a board because, like I said, you're pretty much going in for an OTK, and using this card is the way to go about it. 1 copy of number 38. 38 negates spells. You can make it with a BLS and a copy of Toon Blue Eyes or 2 BLSs that have used up their abilities. It negates spell effects, which is super nice. I like it for that reason. I rarely go into it, so that's why I just play it as a 1-of just in case I need it. If I don't activate Extravagance, I can use this. 2 copies of number 60. Number 60 is neat in this deck because if you summon BLS and then summon this behind it and boost the BLS by double and swing at your opponent for 6,000 to the face, that's a lot of damage. That's going to do 6,000 direct damage. So you can OTK your opponent just with the single BLS with number 60. It's not hard to do because you just special summon Harpy Lady and the Toon Mermaid, overlay into this, double the attack of BLS, and then go after them. Go ham. We then play 2 copies of Utopia and 2 copies of Utopia Double because you want to make Utopia Double in this deck. So the Utopia Double combo is you make Utopia Double, detach material, overlay the Utopia on top of it. It becomes 5,000 attack. You swing at your opponent, negate the attack, drop double or nothing, and then go after them for 10,000 because double or nothing doubles the attack, which searches off of the Utopia Double when you detach the material. So really good effect. 2 copies of Bahamut Shark and 1 copy of Toad because Toad is at 1, unfortunately. This combo comes up quite a lot. I usually do this before I drop Extravagance, and it's really easy to do before you drop Extravagance, but it doesn't come up all that often. Like, I don't go into the extra deck except for, like, Flare Metal. Like, Flare Metal's the big thing that I go for. The rest of the stuff is kind of toolbox just in case I need it. Like, Flare Metal and Utopia Double are the 2 big cards that I go for. Bahamut Shark is there, and it's nice, but I usually just go, like, if I'm going first turn, I'll go Bahamut Shark to protect myself with Toad, but if I'm going second, I drop Utopia Double. But I always usually want to go second in this deck anyways. Then I play 2 copies of Blockade Board Blocker. This card recovers Toon Kingdom because if this card is Link Summon, you discard a card, and then during the end phase, you add a continuous spell or a field spell from your graveyard to your hand. So if you get in a weird situation where you don't have Toon Kingdom, you can get it back with this, and also face-up spells you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So it kind of comes in handy to summon this alongside Toon Kingdom, so I play it as a 2 of in the deck because it can help out protecting Toon Kingdom. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it was worth the wait. It is a really, really fun deck, and I will give you guys a quick, pointer. I will be doing test hands of this. Test hands will be coming soon for the Toon deck profile. This deck is something that I'm super excited of. There will be live duels. There will be test hands. There will be, as soon as I can do live duels, there will be live duels. This deck will be flooding the channel in different forms where I'm going to be doing live duels, test hands, deck profiles, all sorts of stuff. This is like one of my favorite decks of all time, and I'm really excited for this deck because BLS is going to revolutionize the way this deck plays. Bookmark, BLS, and Page Flip has just changed the entire dynamics of the way this deck plays to be a swarm OTK deck, where before it was like a kind of like I hope I can get a couple of monsters on board, where this is actually consistent now. So anyways, guys, that's it, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you later, guys.